Mixamo. It's one of the best sources to get high-quality humanoid animations for 3D games. They not only provide ready-to-use rigged humanoid characters with high-quality textures, but also excellent motion-captured animations. While Mixamo offers great humanoid animations, these can be only used for third-person games as they come with full-body animations. However, in this video, I'll be showing you how to use Mixamo's models and animations for your next FPS game. Real quick, I would like to mention that the models and the animations from Mixamo are free to use for your games. According to Mixamo's licensing information, you can use characters and animations royalty-free for personal, commercial, and non-profit projects. Now to get started, go to the Characters tab in the top left corner. You will then be presented with different characters to choose from. Choose a character of your choice. Remember, you only have to look at the arm part of the character as we're going to get FPS animations. After that, go to the Animations tab right next to the Characters tab. There are more than 2,000 animations that are completely free to use. For this tutorial, I'll pick the Hook Punch animation. Once you have picked the desired animation and the character, click the orange download button on the side. As for the format, select FBX for Unity and select with skin. The rest of the settings don't matter much. Now import the model and animation to Unity. Make sure you have set the animation import settings to generic instead of humanoid. To demo the animation, place the character in the scene and add an animator component. Then, go to your project panel and create an animator controller. Assign this animator controller to the animator component on the character model. Double-click the animator controller to open it in a separate window. You then want to add the animation that you have just downloaded. You want to click on the small arrow next to your model, and then drag and drop the animation file into this animator window. By default, if you don't have any animations in your animator, it will automatically play the animation you have just added when the game plays. So if you hit the play button now, you should be able to see the animation playing in Unity. Although this isn't exactly what we want, so we'll get rid of this. We only want the FPS animations. To extract the FPS arms, we need to open the file up in Blender and do some modifications to the mesh. Once you're in Blender, remove all the pre-created objects. You can do this by pressing A to select all and delete by pressing X. Then you want to import the model you have downloaded by going to File, Import, FBX, and locating the object. You should then have the model in the center of your screen. On the top right in the hierarchy, you want to expand the model and only select the mesh. We will be deleting all the unnecessary parts apart from the FPS arms. Once you have selected the mesh, press Z and select wireframe mode. This will make it easier for us to edit the mesh. After that, you need to enter the edit mode to modify the mesh. You can do this by hitting the tab key. To make it easier, I suggest you go to front orthographic mode, which you can toggle by pressing 1 on your numpad. Now you can begin to select unwanted vertices. I use the brush tool, which can be toggled by pressing C. Select everything apart from the arms and delete them. Once you're happy with your FPS arm mesh, you can go to File, Export, FBX, and save it in your project folder in Unity. For now, I'll name it something like FPS arms. Now if we head back to Unity, we'll be able to see our FPS arm in action. To use the animations we have previously downloaded, we need to add the animator component to our arm again. Importantly, we need to add the animator component to the armature object and not the root object of the FPS arms. And now if we hit play, we can see that FPS arms is playing the animation. I have changed the camera angle to a first-person view. If we play the game now, as you can see, the arms don't seem to be positioned correctly. They are sort of cutting off. To fix this, we'll need to manually modify the animation and reposition it. The easiest way to do this is by using Unity's animation window. However, as soon as you're trying to edit the animation, you'll notice that the animation is read-only. One simple solution to get around this is by duplicating the animation file by pressing Ctrl D after selecting it. Make sure to then use the duplicated animation in Animator. We can now modify our animation in the animation window. Now if we have a look at the problem again, this problem is mostly caused by the movement of the hips. If we completely remove this property, it will generally look better. And we can delete this property by right-clicking on the hips position and then just clicking delete. However, even after deleting this property, I think the arm position is a bit too far away when the player is punching. So I decided to manually pull back the arm when the arm is being fully stretched. If you're doing this as well, make sure that the first frame of the hip position is same as the last frame. You can do this by simply copying the first frame to the last frame. As a result, as you can see, we now have a decent looking Mixamo animation in first person view. You could theoretically spend a bit more time changing hip position and editing the animation manually to make it better too. Now if you want to add more animations from here, all you have to do is download the animation again and repeat the same step. I have imported the fireball animation I found this time. I modified the hip position a little bit and changed the animation. As you can see, it looks quite well. That was it for a quick tutorial. Keep in mind that you aren't able to do this for every humanoid animations possible because our animation type is just set to generic. But considering that Mixamo already provides enough animations for pretty much everything, I think you can make a decent FPS game just by using Mixamo animations. This has been Semicoder. I kind of know how to code.